there. Happy Halloween. When was the last time you laughed out loud? Have you lost your sense of funny bone and tickleness at the cosmic joke of life? My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is laugh out loud. Today we're going to be talking about the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, which is where your belly button is. This is based on teachings from the Vedas, from the Upanishads, information that is thousands of years old. And it states that you have 7 energy centers inside of your body known as the chakras. And the second chakra is known as Svadhisthana, or the sacral chakra. This chakra houses your creativity. It houses your joy. It's going to house, I often, when I do shamanic work, house your inner child. You can even visualize your inner child in there in a kingdom, feeling safe and free and having ancestors or power animals aiding and serving the inner child to heal. And Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, because it is so closely connected to Muladhara, the root chakra, these two chakras, Svadhisthana and Manipura, or the root and sacral, are connected to our sexual energy. And when a person has had sexual trauma, which many two-leggeds have experienced, not just women, many men go through sexual trauma, and they have the mic a lot less on that. It's one of the things that I found very disturbing about the Me Too movement is because men also deal with assault. They also deal with sexual pressure. They can deal with it in jobs. We have 8.2 billion people on the planet. So any being that has faced some type of sexual trauma, sexual assault, that is connected to the root in the sacral chakra. And they may begin to shut down unconsciously because they're wanting to disconnect from their sexual energy, their joy, their creativity. There are many creative beings that used to produce and proliferate many creative arts in their youth, in their teen years, and they no longer are producing and creating because they've had a trauma and it shut down that energy center. So one of the things I want to talk about is creativity. How are you expressing your creativity? Everyone has a creative capacity. Creativity to me is simply something we can hold in the mind's eye that we're able to produce with our hands in some way. And so, although you may not be a great artist, let's say, you may be excellent at designing or organizing or building or constructing. There are many different ways we can use our creative mind. You may be a fantastic singer and you just haven't taken singing lessons to see all of that wonderful noise that's within you. So one of the things I'm asking about today is there any way that you could start to begin to create, activate that creative principle again by working with your sacral? And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you an activation for your sacral chakra. But what things do you like to create? What things do you dream of creating? Maybe you've always wanted to take that pottery class, or here, Heather Feather has a dance studio right by her house here, and I have a guitar studio that just opened into a new, larger business right here. And I've been living here for years, and I keep thinking about going to take guitar lessons and going to that dance studio. And perhaps now is the time for me to unfurl into a beautiful dance, a beautiful song, and awaken to something that we truly enjoy doing. Creation is something that we enjoy doing and something that we are all capable of doing. But beyond our creativity, how are we having and holding our joy? One of the things Heather Feather loves to do is laugh. I love it. I watch comedians all the time. I love stand-up comedy. I love laughing. And I feel like any moment in which Heather Feather is laughing, she's living a life worth living. So my aim actually is from now until the grave, or actually it's been a couple decades deep until the grave, is to gather as many laughs in my giggle basket of life all the way from now until I take my last breath. Because to me, that is a successful life. That is a life worth living. I don't care how much money I have. I don't care about status. I don't care about title. What I do care about is how much did I enjoy my life? You could have all the status and power and whatever, money in the world, and you still could be a human that I would want to spend 0 minutes with, and it could be deeply unpleasant. So for me, life is about the experience we're having. What experience are you having? Now, we are commodified. We're like batteries in the modern age. Our phone is commodifying us. It's garnering our attention. Our television programming and phone programming are garnering our attention. And so currently what I'm in the process of doing, I currently have Hulu, and that ends at the end of October. And so I got rid of Prime, I got rid of Netflix, and now I'm about to get rid of Hulu. And the only thing I'm going to have access to is YouTube. On YouTube, I can buy a show if I want to watch it, But also there are a lot of things on YouTube like learning to play the guitar, learning an artistic talent from a fellow artist, learning how to build a cob house, things that I do want to do because I'm going to create an eco-friendly, sustainable college, things that I can begin learning, things that I can begin placing my attention on that my soul actually desires to know. Is there any way that you want to know something, or a way that you desire to grow, or do you want to know how to create new meals? Perhaps you can turn some of your attention that is shared with technology towards those targets that you're wanting to aim for. Oftentimes in our lives, we are sharing a tremendous amount of attention that isn't necessarily an aim of ours. Many people are riddled with toxic femininity, and they overly empath, overly share, overly give, and they're not thinking about themselves. They're not doing some sacred selfishness so that their own cup is full, so that when they give, it is fully and freely given, and there's no expectation of applause or recompense. The giving is true giving. In my opinion, the only true giving in the world is where you give freely with no expectation at all. Otherwise, you're looking for praise or something, you know? So one of the things we can do is become attentive to, where is it that I'm putting my attention in this world? Am I placing it on the things I truly value, on the things that I want to know, on the ways that I want to grow? And how often do you laugh? Do you ever practice laughing? One of my favorite games to play with children, because they love it, and adults often enjoy it too, is to play the laughing game. And that's where you laugh as high as you can, as high as you can, and then you laugh as low as you can. How low can you laugh? And then if you keep doing that, it's often a great way to get yourself laughing. You can do laughing yoga. You can take some course around creativity to reactivate your creative center. You can go to a therapist and get counseling regarding the mental and emotional weight of having had sexual trauma in this life. You can also do somatic therapy like ecstatic dance and rebirthing breath work, which helps you to get the trauma out of the physical body if you've endured those experiences. One of the things we often don't realize is how our life experiences can cause us to shut down aspects of the self. And I gotta say, life is to be lived, life is to be enjoyed, life is to be delighted in. And so what steps are you taking this day to ensure that the path that you are walking is one that opens your joy and creativity centers? So I want you to bring your attention to your belly button. This is the house or the seat of the sacral Svadhisthana chakra. And I want you to just bring your awareness into this center. What I usually do is visualize a crack, a thin crack in the earth directly underneath me that has a vacuum that pulls all the way to the center of the earth. And I want you to imagine that crack now, and it has a vacuum effect, and it's just pulling out of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual system any entity, any energy that no longer serves or deserves to be in the sacred temple that holds the light of love that you are. And once you feel your temple clearing of anything unwanted, you bring your attention to just behind your navel and begin to imagine a beautiful navel orange. And every breath you breathe begins to grow and to glow this orange energy in your sacral. You begin to bloom a beautiful orange light, activating your joy, activating your creativity. You may even choose now to place your inner child in this space, in your belly, in your gut, where your health and your vibrancy often live, and give it all kinds of creative arts, maybe ancestors, power animals, tree houses, and allow them to be activated in your creative center. Allow everything to be aglow in the lower belly and a beautiful orange light, activating and awakening the sacral. You may even choose to write in light in this area in your mind's eye. I am joy. I am creating. I am creative. And just allow that word soup to stew and imbue into this area the creative joy that you came to be. If there's anything you've been holding that feels too weighty, simply gather that up in the breath, exhale it blessed away from you now, and slowly open your eyes to the prize that is you. I hope you enjoy your day. Amun.